Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Strong First, the School of Strength. These are my colleagues, senior instructors, and serious students of BJJ, Mike Perry and John Spizzano. I'm Pavel Tsatsouline, CEO. We're honored to bring our strength and conditioning expertise to improve your game on the mat. I'm going to say a few words. I'm going to take a 50,000-foot view on strength and conditioning. In Russian sports science, physical preparation is divided into GPP, general physical preparation, and SPP, special physical preparation. SPP is the same thing that Westerners know as sport-specific training. GPP is something that carries over to a great variety of applications. So for example, let me give you an example of a great GPP exercise and a poor GPP exercise. The barbell squat. If you do barbell squats, you're going to run faster, you're going to jump higher, and so on and so forth. And on the other hand, well, you also gain weight, which might not necessarily help you on the mat, but that's a different story. But if you're doing the leg extension, you're only going to get good at the leg extension, which means that the squat is a great GPP exercise and the leg extension is worthless. Now, SPP in the Russian terminology is divided into SPP1 and SPP2. SPP2 is a highly specific exercise, highly specific to your sport. So to use a grappling example, if you are going to lunge, explosively lunge, simulating a takedown using a rubber band for resistance, that's an example of SPP2. While SPP1 occupies a gray area between GPP and SPP2. So it's sort of specific. So on the high level, the only athletes that should be doing SPP2, highly specialized exercises, are elite athletes training under elite coaches. Nobody else needs to do these exercises. For the rest, you need to practice GPP and SPP1. This is exactly what we're doing in this program. Strong First is an expert in general physical preparation and even more so in general strength preparation. In addition, we brought the expertise from a number of instructors, Strong First certified instructors, and other friends of Strong First who are BJJ black belts and other highly experienced practitioners and coaches. So we're bringing you the SPP1 segment there as well. So kettlebell swings, kettlebell get-ups, cleans and jerks, those exercises have the highest return on your investment. Let's also not forget that when you're looking for specificity in your training, you already are getting a lot of specific training on the mat. So do not get too specific. Stay with GPP and stay with SPP1. The next thing to say is, why are we using kettlebells for this program? There are many ways that you can get yourself in shape for your sport. Some of them are great, some of them are not so. Well, I can tell you that kettlebell training is just as effective as the best of them, plus it's much more efficient than most. There are at least 10 reasons I can name you why you should train with kettlebells for your strength and conditioning for grappling. Number one, it's unparalleled efficiency. Unparalleled. The exercises, the main events of this program, the swing, the get-up, the clean and jerk, have a tremendously wide carryover to a great variety of events. They improve performance in sports as diverse as powerlifting and ultra endurance running. So obviously they improve your fighting ability as well. Great carryover. Number two, you can develop strength, power, and conditioning at the same time. Yes, I know there are other methods they say that you can do that, but normally they come with strings attached. For example, you start doing high reps in a barbell power clean, something's going to blow. Not a good idea to do that with a barbell. Well, let's say bodyweight exercises. Great exercises for strength, great exercise for the mastery of your body, less so for conditioning, less so for applying external forces. And there are many other ways you can do it. So kettlebells are highly efficient. Number three, you build all-terrain strength. What does it mean? Many exercises lock you in a very linear pattern, and you just get strong in that very linear pattern, which is not the way your sport is. So kettlebells load you from so many different directions. So if you show a heavy kettlebell who's the boss, as it tries to yank you this way and that way, You develop strength, not just strength in direct planes, but as one of my colleagues called the in-between strength. Very important. Number 4, we're looking at a steep learning curve. The Olympic lifts with a bar, they're great. And it takes years to learn, not to even master these lifts, even with an expert coach. Kettlebells offer you a great do-it-yourself option because the skills are simple. The skills can be learned quickly at your own home. Number 5 is the kettlebells are perfect for the BJJ because, as one of our colleagues, Carl Agnelli, said, it's all about hips and grips, hips and grips. And as you'll find out very soon, kettlebells are all about hips and grips. So I'll definitely prepare you for your sport. But on the other hand, they also balance out the BJJ posture. Another one of our colleagues said, don't live in your sports posture. So if you're flexed, rounded over, curled in a ball, you have to do it on the mat. You don't need to go through your life this way. Because if you do, you're going to be a hurting unit. And your career is not going to be as long. So various extension exercises that we're practicing, swings, cleans, overhead lifts, they're going to help you open up. They're going to help you counter the negative effects of your sport-specific posture. Number 7, cycling of tension and relaxation. Very few sports allow you extreme tension or extreme relaxation. Powerlifting, you have total tension, extreme total tension. Ultra endurance swimming, extreme relaxation. Most other sports, and definitely all combat sports, they demand an interplay of tension and relaxation. So the kettlebell exercises are designed in such a way where there's constant interplay between tension and relaxation. So you're acquiring this mastery of how to dial the skill up and down. Resilience. The Get Up, for example, one of the key moves that we're presenting in this program, has a tremendous record of bulletproofing the pretty messed up carcasses of some serious athletes with high mileage, shoulders and other parts of the body. So we're not just looking at high performance, we're looking at resilience as well. We're looking at staying in the game. And moves like kettlebell get-ups are unparalleled for that. Ergonomic perfection, another item. So dumbbells, let's say you start pressing dumbbells overhead. When they start getting large, you start bumping into each other. You can't even clean them right here. Let's say you start putting up the barbell overhead. Again, that puts a lot of stress on your wrists. Kettlebells are ergonomically perfect. They put your shoulder in that perfect offloaded position, so it gives you perfect stretch and perfect stability. And when you're swinging this between your legs, again, that compact offset center of gravity, it's ergonomic perfection. So you're going to find you're going to really enjoy this type of training. It's a natural training. And finally, last but not least, you can replace an entire gym with just several kettlebells. Yeah, you could have a lot of different equipment. Maybe you enjoy doing something with X, Y, Z, and whatever, but you really don't have to do that. And if you remember that your priority, your game, is grappling, if you remember that you're taking on strength and conditioning as a way to enhance your performance on the mat, I cannot see any convincing reason why would you choose a complex and equipment-demanding method. Therefore, kettlebells are for you. We're going to start talking about the breathing mastery. Breathing correctly is fundamental to high levels of performance, strength, power, endurance in any sport. So there are several important concepts that we're going to introduce to you. The first one is called power breathing. To understand power breathing, you need to understand something, the way your muscles are wired to your brain. If you think about your brain as the music player, and if you think about your muscles as the loudspeakers, the amount of internal pressure, the intra-abdominal pressure, you can think of it as the amplifier, as the volume control. So for example, if you're letting all your breath out passively when you're stretching, your muscles are going to relax. On the other hand, if you crank it up, create high pressure in your abdomen, your strength will automatically increase. So high pressure breathing for strength, low pressure breathing for relaxing. And in sports, it's very important to be able to know when to choose which one. So the power breathing technique, the one where you're just compressing your breath, it's very, very powerful for making you stronger on the mat, with the kettlebell, with the barbell, anywhere else. And it's also a tremendously effective way to develop your abdominal strength. You're gonna have very strong abs. So here's how we do this. But before we do, I just want to warn you that this technique is not for everybody. If you have high blood pressure or other cardiovascular conditions, you need to clear that with your doctor. So step one, you take a breath, normal breath into your abdomen, just normal breath, not huge, not minimal. Step two, imagine the nature calls. You gotta hit the John right now, and it's number one and number two, and it's really bad. So you gotta pull everything up. So you're pulling up your pelvic floor. Then you put your tongue between your teeth, and you start hissing in this particular manner. So notice that we are ratcheting the tension up. Normal breath. And as you're doing that, you will feel your abdominals contract. Do not go into spinal flexion. We're not trying to round your back. We're not trying to perform a crunch. We're just trying to feel that your abs are getting very strong and very, very solid, and you're creating this great feeling of compression. Understand also that the tension and the compression should take place below your armpits. So don't try to send the pressure into your head, into your cheeks. You're not blowing up a balloon and blowing your head up. The pressure is all going down low while you're keeping your face impassive. So you take a breath and relax. So this type of breathing, we engage this type of breathing in everything that we do. Any kind of strength efforts that we do, whether it's a slow effort like a press or squat, or it's a fast effort like a push press, or a clean, or a swing. The only difference is when you're performing quick movements like the swing, the action is really explosive. It's like punching. So instead of as we might for a press, this becomes that powerful ki that drives the effort. Understand that kiing is not just about psychology. You're not going to scare the kettlebell with loud ki. It's about creating this high internal pressure that automatically increases your strength. So this is called power breathing. But you also got to understand that there's a downside to that, because it tires you out, especially if you hold your breath. Is there any time to hold your breath? Yeah, there are times to hold your breath. Right before you start any kind of a high effort movement. It's a reflex. So you're walking over to the bar, heavy barbell, pick up the deadlift, you inhale, you tighten up, you hold your breath, and then on top, finally you power breathe on the top. But the longer is the breath hold, the less is your endurance. Because not only are you not getting any oxygen when you're holding your breath, also at the same time you're impeding the circulation. So because of this impeded circulation, your endurance is going to tank. And that's why in some sports where endurance is far more important than strength, and in some activities like dance, they try to untrain the breath holds altogether, even though it's a reflex. It's a natural reflex that makes you stronger. So the answer for you is this. Breath holds are great, very brief, at certain moments, at certain transitions, and then after that, we're going to power breathe. And after that, you breathe steady, steady. That's what you do. The next thing I'm going to show you how to apply some of these concepts when you're under static load. So I'm going to ask my colleagues to join me. Now the question is how to power breathe when you are under long static pressure. If you hold your breath for a long time, you'll pass out. And